Hey everyone, sorry I'm out of breath. I tell you, it's October and it's like 80 something degrees of high humidity. I'm ready for the snow and the cold. But anyway, um, this video, I talk a lot about hunting and trapping and fishing. And if you don't watch, if people, there's a lot of people, saying, oh, after 2 or 3 months, there ain't going to be no game or fish. It's true. If something does happen, that's why you got to learn when to hunt, when not to hunt, when to fish, when not to fish. You also got to learn how to preserve the meat you got. I mean, you can go out, if you're a family of 4 or 6, you can go out, get you some fish, smoke it, preserve it, put it in your root cellar that you make. You don't have to have a fine, fancy one. You can dig you one. You can get a deer or two, and that will last you all year. If you can get a pig, if you can get a deer and a couple of pigs, man, that's going to last you a whole year on top of what you also have. And, a lot of people say, well, why aren't you talking about gardening? If you have a garden during an SHTF, that's going to be putting a spotlight out on you. Yes, you should have a garden, but you don't want it where you're at your house, at your bug out location. You want it away, so if people does come by, um, they don't see it and rate it. Therefore, all kinds of trouble could happen. But learn to live off the land. I mean, there's a lot. You can look around behind me. I'm in the middle of woods, and there's so much here that I've been learning about that I can pick and I can and I can eat. You don't have to have tomatoes and corn and green beans. There's so much out here that you can get if you just got to learn it. Um, Again, going back to the hunting and fishing and trapping. That's why they have regulations to for certain times of the year to hunt, and stuff like that. That's to help preserve and replenish the game population. Now, if something was to happen, yeah, the game population is going to go down quick because there's going to be a lot of idiots out there just shooting and shooting and shooting, and they don't know how to preserve the meat, and a lot of it's going to go to waste. So you're going to have to stop and think. That's what common sense comes in at. Um, Not book knowledge, but common sense. You're going to have to know how to preserve the food you get in order to sustain you down the road. That way you're not going out hunting every day or fishing every day. You can do other things. So learn that, you know, watching videos, reading books, going out getting firsthand experience, trial and error. If you fail, so be it. You know, in life you're not going to succeed all the time. You're going to fail more times than you succeed. But that's the difference between a slave and somebody who has hope. The slave was just going to sit there, well, okay, I'm a slave. I can't do it. But that person with hope is going to go and say, well, I screwed up this time or I failed this time. Tomorrow's going to be. Then tomorrow you might come in, if you say you're fishing, and have 10 or 12 catfish or trout, wherever you're, whatever area you're in. While the person who thinks he's a slave is going to go hungry and his family's going to go hungry. But you want to regulate how much you hunt, fish, and trap. I have a rule. I do not hunt when my freezer's full. After I get a deer or a bear or a pig and my freezer's full and I have enough meat to do us for the rest of the year, I don't hunt. Like this right now. Right now is deer season. And I've still got 10 pounds worth of deer from last year in my freezer. I haven't went deer hunting yet. I'm not a trophy hunter. I hunt for the food. Trapping season's coming up the 24th. I'm going to trap because I get the meat and I make money off the pelts I sell. And I'm also learning leather work so I can turn around and I can use the pelts to make gloves, make boots, make hats, whatever for me and my children. Or I can use them as a barter item. But I get a lot of messages and stuff like that about why do I always talk about hunting, because hunting's not going to be around. Ain't going to be much game. They won't be if people go out and act stupid, but if people use their head and regulate what they're doing, there's going to be plenty of game. Now granted, say something happens in the middle of summer when there's not no hunting season and you see Bambi, a deer sitting there, and your baby and you are hungry, I'm sorry, I would probably blow his top of his head off to feed my children and feed me. If you do that during regular times, that's called poaching. But in survival times, that's called using your head, being smart, and getting food in your gut so you can survive. So when in a survival situation, when you're hungry, your family's hungry, your babies are hungry, there is no rules to hunting or fishing or trapping. Just do it in the right way, and so that way the game can replenish. I mean, you don't want to go out and just kill every squirrel you see just so you can have fresh squirrel meat every day. You don't want to do that. Or kill all the rabbits or whatever. You don't want to do that. You want to just treat it as a limited resource, because it will be a limited resource. Because after something does happen, I say 3 months, that's when you're going to see the survivors. From day 0 at the beginning to 3 months, all the weak-minded people, all the slaves, all the Canadian Prepper done a good one on it. Don't be a bitch. All the bitches and all the assholes, you need to really watch his video. It's pretty good. It's a 2-part series. But all those are going to be gone. And only the survivors, the strong-willed, the strong mind, the people with hope are going to be out. And hopefully they will use their head about hunting and fishing and not use up all the resources. But I hope that answers, I got a couple questions on that, and I hope that answers the questions. But that's what I got for you guys. So I'm gonna get back to clearing this land out. The guy's hunting thing, and we had a lot of strong winds come through and knock down a lot of trees, and it's messed his hunting up, because he bow hunts and stuff. So I'm in here, I'm getting paid to clean it up, plus I get the wood for free. I can resell the wood and I can hunt it. So I'm in a win-win situation, and that's being your own man, not being, I own my own labor, not being a slave, feel like you're a slave. And if you've watched my previous video, you'll understand why I keep bringing up slave. But anyway, guys, if you have to hunt and fish and trap, do so mindfully. Don't overdo it. Do it where you can have enough to feed your family on a regular basis. And if you want to get a little extra to preserve and set back for hard times or for bartering, that's fine. But you don't want to go out and kill 10 or 12 deer. That's a waste. And you don't want to go kill a deer if you can't preserve the meat and let that meat last you, because it's a waste. And, get out. If you're going to have a garden, get it away from your area so you don't have to worry about people coming and raiding it. And learn what's out here. Learn what's out here in the woods that you can actually use, preserve, and eat. Because there's a lot. I mean, I've already picked a 5-gallon bucket of hickory nuts and a 5-gallon bucket of walnuts. And we're going to eat some of them. We're going to put some of them back. But I'm going to sell and barter some of it. Because if you go to the store and buy fresh nuts, at the store, they're expensive. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get back to work, and I'll see you on the next one. Everybody be safe and keep preparing. Bye for now.